Not a lot I can do, but I can do that.
Let's pray. Dear gracious Heavenly Father, God, we thank you so much, Lord, for this and another day, Lord, that you've given us, God. We're so thankful, Lord, for the wonderful blessings, Lord, the safe travel and mercies, Lord, as we came in tonight, Lord. And I pray for safe travel and mercies as we go home tonight, Lord. Pray, Lord God, tonight for this meeting. I pray, Lord, that all the things on the agenda go to your will, Lord. I ask all these things in your dear gracious heavenly name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, with that, I'm going to call to order the special called meeting of the Corbin City Commission, February 16th, 5 p.m. with a roll call vote, please.
Moore. Here. Reeves.
Here.
Knuckles.
Here.
Shepherd. Here. Rasmus.
Here. First on the agenda is to approve the January bills for payment. Everybody's had a chance to look those over. I'll entertain a motion.
I got here early and looked at them, so I'll make a motion to approve the bills for January. Second.
Moore.
Yes.
Reeves.
Yes.
Knuckles.
Yes.
Shepherd.
We lose him?
Rasmus.
Yes. Next is to approve the minutes of the regular called meeting of the Corbin City Hall Public Corporation and the special meeting of the Board of Commissioners on January 19th, 2021.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second. Reeves.
Yes.
Knuckles.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Moore. Yes. Rasmus.
Yes. Second reading of ordinance 2021-1, an ordinance amending ordinance 2-2018 to delete the requirement that members of the city tree board citizens be citizens and residents of the city of Corbin.
Ordinance number 2021-1, ordinance of the city of Corbin, Kentucky, amending ordinance number 2-2018 to delete the requirement that members of the city tree board be citizens and residents of the city of Corbin, Kentucky. And this ordinance shall take effect upon passage and legal advertisement. Second reading to 1621.
Make a motion?
Second.
That motion.
How about a second? How about a second, Brandon?
Second then, Brandon. Okay. Second.
Knuckles?
Yes.
Shepherd?
Yes.
Moore?
Yes.
Reeves?
No.
Rasmus?
Yes. All right, next on the agenda is Johnny and Denise Bargo to discuss city ordinance regarding mobile homes. Johnny, if you don't mind, thank you very much. Go into the microphone and just, hopefully we can hear you with.
Is it alright, or
Yes, you're far enough away for sure. You can take the mask off if you'd like.
or enough to talk?
Yes, it is.
Hope everybody's doing good tonight. I can tell you, well, my wife's not here, she's not feeling well, so I hope you excuse her. We live on Gordon Hill, 1358, the Parker House. I don't know if you're all familiar with that. Her grandmother purchased the house in 54 when her papa was working on the railroad, had an accident, so. And they've had the house in their family since 54. It means a lot to her, you know, of course it would, so. And we purchased a double wide recently, and they used to be a single wide sitting in the backyard. Septic's there, the pole's there, the water meter runs down to there. I do know that we've been told, because there's non-existing mobile home sitting there right now, but I was also noticed on the grandfather clauses that I've looked up that says if you purchase this property with the intent of setting a mobile home there, that they can't stop you from doing such. That's what the grandfather clause says. And that's what the back lot was purchased for. It's got its own deed. And they was a mobile home sitting there. So I know you all are gonna probably say, no, we ain't gonna help you, whatever, that's your all's decision. But you all have the right to say, yeah, let's help these people out, cause if you don't, I'm selling everything and moving out of here. If y'all wanna lose your residence, you know, it's up to you, but this is where we're at right now. It's $140,000 mobile home that's gonna be set on a permanent foundation. It ain't like these junky ones I've seen up here by Circle K. Sorry, but it is what it is. So I understand why you're trying to keep people from just bringing mobile homes in left and right. And again, it's $140,000 loan, so.
Where's the property located?
It's right, it's about 5 houses on the left past Barton Mill, if you're going toward Civic Center.
Okay.
If you know anybody lives out there, there's
So is it a shared driveway with the original house?
the original house sits up next to the road, and then there's a driveway, a road to the side of it that goes down to the back property.
Is it, so this sits back in behind that,
Yes, sir.
is that property, are we 100% positive that that is part of the city limits?
It's in the city limits, yes.
And you say you have the deed that shows the intent,
Well,
that would,
her aunt,
I know which house you're talking about now.
her aunt got the property to put a mobile home on it, but she didn't. My uncle did, however, he put the mobile home, he lived in it until he passed away. That's what it was purchased for. It was for the mobile home, and the pole's still there, the septic's still there. And there's nobody here objecting, of course, the neighbors, they don't care. It'd be a whole different ballgame if somebody didn't like it, you know.
I have a question, Marlon. Would this be something that could be brought before the variance board?
I don't think so. Here's the problem, there's not been a trailer on that. With the records, we went through the PBA since 2001. Or whatever, that was the last time we could go back in time. So that the trailer was on there, we don't know. The PBA and the Whitley County Sheriff Office never showed a mobile home being there.
So it's before the interstate, right? So it's between Barton Hill and the interstate.
Yeah.
But it sits back off Gordon Hill.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
house is right up next to it.
You wouldn't even be able to see the mobile
No, you
home.
never see it, no.
Isn't some of that property back in, behind there, not in the city limits though, Marlon?
Some of it is and some of it's not.
Is there a way to get this property out of the city limits for them?
I think we're going the wrong direction here, Seth.
I mean, I'm just all about trying to help people.
I'd like to look at the grandfather clause.
Where's that at? Because I'm looking at the ordinance and I don't,
Right.
where's the grandfather clause?
I looked
It
it
seems
up
like
on
really
Google.
straightforward to me.
I looked it up on Google.
According to well, here's the thing, according to our development ordinance,
Yeah.
there is not a grandfather clause.
There's no-
And that's what we go by.
Okay. Well, like I said, I know you're tied to all this ordinances, but you all still have the right to say, you know, let's help these people out. That's why. I
We
was
need to add, in our city attorney, since it's a special
Yeah.
called meeting, he's at another, meeting. So modular homes, from what I understand, a modular home is accepted, but and this ordinance is from what, 1978, they decided no trailers in the city limits of Corbin.
Actually, is what it's considered.
According to our development ordinance, it has to be a modular
Right.
home.
If it's a modular, he'd already give me a permit, this would be a non-issue, but $140,000
Any way to-
HUD house, so.
Can you, any way to change?
I done tried, they won't do it, cause if it just said it right on their modular, it would have been no problem.
So y'all purchased the trailer first and then,
Well, we was under the impression, cause we called and checked, they said, well, if you had a single wide there, you can grandfather in and get, you know, your modular, so we went ahead, this is in June, we paid $1,000. We've been trying for almost a year and a half to get this, you know.
So this is the second time that I've heard of a grandfather clause from two different people, and I know that both of them have been told, probably been told that. I would like to just know where all this is, where this is coming from and look into it further.
Yeah, the guy that gives you the permits, he'll tell you real quick if it's grandfathered in, that's what the words he uses. If there's a modular home there, you're not gonna let him put a brand new mobile home. I'm not gonna be able to get it and set it there. has to be grandfathered in. In other words, there has to be one sitting there,
Right.
then they move it and put a upgrade to a double wide. That's the way, that's considered grandfathered in. That's where the term comes.
And Mr. Benville's not here, but in talking to him, he said he let you all know back last spring that you could not do
He
this.
says that they're not sure, he wasn't sure then, he said he may not be able to do it.
Where's your mobile home at right now?
Sitting on the lot.
Up there or at the?
Clayton. Cause, I mean, if it don't work, we're selling and moving out, this is, I mean, I ain't got no choice.
So, the PVA info that I've got here on your house, it said that you all bought it from some Shackelford
Yeah,
people?
Chris Shackler, that's family,
Okay,
it's all been in the family the entire time. Damon Parker, he was a Parker,
Okay.
that's the uncle, that's his stepdaughter and son-in-law that we got it. We inherited some of it and paid for some of it, but it's been in the family since '54. Y'all know Damon? Marlon probably does.
well, we can't vote on it today,
Right,
where it just says that it's on here to discuss,
yes, sir.
and it's a special call meeting. What I would like to is take this and also look at the PVA map and see what surrounds it.
Yeah, that's fine, I mean, I'm just asking to be fair about it, what else can I do?
Okay.
That
I think
concludes it.
Definitely worth more discussion.
Yeah, I appreciate anything y'all can do, when would I know anything?
I think we put it back on the agenda for next month to take action on it. That meeting's not set yet, but it's typically what, the third Monday and
It
every
is
month?
set by ordinance as a third Monday, and it won't be a special meeting unless whether something changes it, so it doesn't have to be voted on the agenda.
This will be the third Monday in March,
Okay,
is when we'll be back.
all right, I appreciate y'all.
All right, thank you.
All right, so next on the agenda is to review and take action on bids to clean up 908 Carter Street.
Mayor, we checked with Gary in the last meeting, we discussed that, and it would be too expensive for us to do it. So Alan got two more bids, Williams and Son at $2,800. Pratt Landscaping at $5,500. My recommendation is we go with Williams and Son at $2,800.
What is the cleanup, are they knocking down a house there, or is it?
No, it's at 908 Carter, it's the one that had been destroyed by a fire, and then they just pushed everything on the foundation. This is just cleaning that whole lot off, getting all that out of there.
It's back there behind Baptist Housing, Trent. I've looked at it, it's pretty bad, it needs to be cleaned up. It's been probably over a year, hasn't it?
It's been since I've been in office, to be honest.
We've had a hard time getting hold of the owner, we finally took care of everything Alan did, so
Now, will this 2,800, will that be an assessment that's,
we'll attach a lien to it.
okay. Are we planning on getting any more bids, or are these only two bids we're getting?
No, that's the only two we got. Well, we included the city, but it's just too costly for us to haul it off and take it to the landfill and everything.
I think 2,800 is pretty reasonable, honestly.
Absolutely.
Gary's not here.
All right, anybody gonna make a motion?
Make a motion.
I'll second
Shepherd,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Reeves,
it, yes.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Rasmus,
Yes. Next is to approve an authorized tax refund to Bill and Natalie Hopkins for the following bills. 2018, bill number 1763 for $120.40. 2019, bill number 1170 for $125.28. And 2020, bill number 1687 for $127.63 for a total refund of $373.31. They were eligible for homestead exemption.
Make a motion.
Second.
Moore,
Yes.
Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Rasmus,
Yes. Next is to accept the resignation from Recreation Director Hope Gibson.
February 9th, 2021. Says Marlon Sam, City Manager, City of Corbin, dear Marlon, Mayor Rasmus, and City Commissioners. Please accept this letter as a formal notification that I am resigning from my position as the Parks and Recreation Director with the City of Corbin. My last day will be Monday, March 1st, 2021. Thank you so much for the opportunity to work in this position for the past 2.5 years. I've greatly enjoyed and appreciated the opportunities I have had, and I've learned so much, all of which I will take with me throughout my career. I wish the City of Corbin and the residents continued success, health, and happiness. I hope to stay in touch in the future. Corbin will always be considered home to me and remain as a special place in both my memory and my heart. If I can be of any help during the transition, please let me know. God bless. Sincerely, Hope Gibson.
Well, Hope did a great job.
Yeah, I hate to lose Hope. She really has done a great job, and she's been instrumental, especially over the last year with everything that everyone's been through. I hate to lose her, but I wish her the best of luck. Make a motion to accept her resignation.
Second.
Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. Next is to approve to remove Hope Gibson from Hometown Bank, Colonel Sanders Half Marathon account, and add Marlon Sams to those accounts.
Make a motion.
Second.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Reeves,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. Discuss and take action on garbage truck lease.
After, we discussed that in last month's meeting, we checked, Gary and I did with the, Enterprise Fleet Management, and we can actually go through them and lease out a garbage truck. Our monthly payment would be $2,167.32. It's a fully loaded truck. Fleet found the truck, worked with the company. This truck's ready to come to us if we get the approval.
And it's my understanding if we don't lease it, then it's gonna be quite some time before we can actually.
Be another 10 months. What basically happened is Fleet bought the truck, so, on a state contract price, and then they leased it out to us. And this does have the equipment, if we decide later on to go to trash cans ourselves, it can lift it up and take care of that situation.
And we are definitely in need of this garbage truck. Our other trucks are on their last legs, so we don't wanna get into a situation where we can't take care of our people.
I talked to Gary and Jeff Friday, they're gonna have to pull the 2002 off and do about $6,000 work on it to get it back running properly, so.
Well, I appreciate y'all taking the time to go out and find a good lease for us. This is a really great option to have on the table.
Well, we do enterprise fleet for all our pickups and our police vehicles and fire vehicles too, so.
I think that's probably the most logical course of action. I make a motion to approve the lease.
Second.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. All right, next is to discuss and take action on hiring a legislative consultant for the city. I did? Oh, I'm sorry. Authorize city manager to advertise bids for Gordon Hill sidewalk project. That is important too, so sorry about that.
Last year, we got discretionary funds from the state to do road work, or sorry, not road work, sidewalk work at Wilson Street and on Gordon Hill. We bid it out on Gordon Hill and didn't get no bids at the time, so I'd like to rebid it. I think there's some interest out there, and this way we can get those sidewalks fixed.
So is it just fixing existing sidewalks, or?
There will be sidewalks starting from about where Attorney Smith's office is on both sides, all the way up to Gordon Hill, where those two retaining walls are.
Oh, that's great.
The grant did, or not, it was actually, was it a grant? I can't-
Discretionary funds.
Discretionary funding, but could not be used for new sidewalks, because it would be awesome to get a sidewalk all the way to the gas station, but we could not, do that for this, so.
Who's been doing all the sidewalk work on like Cumberland Falls? Has the city been doing that?
Our Public Works can do some of it, but Gary don't have enough people to go up there and do that project or the equipment, so he recommended we get somebody and bid it out.
There's a pretty tricky section where there's a retaining wall that, it's gonna have to really be done right.
We bid out some of that work already on some of the
Well-
Main Street, didn't we, or Depot Street or somewhere? Didn't somebody else do that?
They did some sidewalks around the volleyball courts
Okay.
and around the train. That was a different group, that was through tourists.
Okay.
We're doing this through the city. Gary and them did the Wilson Street, because it's a very small project, but they can't do this one.
Do we know how much funding's available?
We have about $125,000 left on that discretionary funding that we can do it with.
Okay. I mean, I'm all for it.
Our issue will be, once we get up to the retaining walls.
Yeah.
It could possibly be sitting on the retaining wall. I don't think the concrete sidewalks are, so that might be a little bit more, but we'll cross that when we get to it. And they will, the way we wrote the bid specs out, I want to eliminate some steps so there can be a smooth transition all the way up through there.
Well, I think if the city can't do it, I think the only option is to open it up for bids to have somebody else do it. Anybody have any other alternatives?
No, but I'm surprised you're gonna be able to take some of those stairs out.
I talked to two different general contractors and they said they kind of gave us an idea of what to do, so.
I'd make a motion to authorize the city manager to advertise for bids for the Gordon Hill sidewalk project.
Second.
Moore,
Yes.
Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Yes.
Rasmus,
All right, now let's discuss and take action on hiring a legislative consultant for the city. So, we need a legislative consultant for the city. There's a lot going on up in Frankfurt, and I have been going back and forth quite a bit, and just could use some assistance, and am asking for a 1-month contract for us to be able to get some help up there.
Yeah, I commend Susie for the work that's been done so far on this, and I think to leave the last leg of it, we're right there at the end of the session, and to not use every resource available to us would be a disservice.
Do we have the con?
We do not have the contract. I would also like to have this to be pending approval of our city attorney looking the contract over.
So we can't.
They were supposed to send it to her, they've not got it to her.
They've not gotten it to us, but they have said it's $5,000 for a 1-month contract. So as long as Bob looks it over and says it's okay, we wouldn't sign anything without him.
I mean, I think it's something that's extremely important, with everything that's going on with exit 29. It's my understanding that there's gonna be legislation introduced to fix the problem. Obviously, Mayor Rasmus can't be in Frankfurt every day, lobbying our, representatives and senators to get this bill passed, but I think it's something that's extremely important to the city of Corbin, and hopefully will alleviate all the problems existing with the current litigation and the current state of exit 29. $5,000 seems to be a reasonable fee. I would like to have the contract in front of us so we could review it. However, I think that, we could go ahead and vote and take action on it pending approval of the city attorney. I don't know what would be in a contract that couldn't be amended to make it work for the city, but I think it's something that's definitely important, that we definitely need. to get this thing done.
Given the reputation of the firm that we've selected and are expecting the contract from, I feel sure that they would be able to work with us on amending in any way that we see fit. So yes, the funds are definitely well worth it. So I will make the motion.
So let's see, how do we need to word that?
I'll make a motion to hire a legislative consultant for the city.
Can we say who we're hiring?
Well, it's
Patrick Jennings is the name of the consultant. Mhm.
I think Brandon seconded it.
Second.
Reeves,
Yes.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. And next on the agenda is promotions in the police department. And while Rusty comes up, I just want to give a big shout out to police department, fire department, public works. Oh my goodness, the last few days, they have worked nonstop. I'm so thankful for you all. You really take care of our citizens at great risk to yourselves, and I just can't thank you enough. Keep up the good work, guys.
I'd like to take this opportunity to commend 3 officers for their outstanding efforts and performance they exhibit on a daily basis. These officers prove that they are able to lead by example by doing their jobs every day with the utmost professionalism and commitment to the police department, city of Corbin, and its citizens. I have 3 officers, 2 of which couldn't be here this evening. I'd like to promote Stephen Matters from corporal to sergeant, Jeff Hill from corporal to sergeant, and Patrolman Lonnie Sears to corporal, and Lonnie is here this evening. Sawyers, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Lonnie.
Sorry, Lonnie. Lonnie Sawyers.
All right, great. Congratulations, Lonnie.
Thank you.
You can take this photo without me.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda is the city manager report.
I'm coming up. I've got a couple of things. If you want to pull out the tourism report.
Pull out the tourism report at the end of it. As we're aware of, Maggie's wanting to do a Colonel Fest this year downtown, and there will be some streets she'd like to ask us to close. She has spoke with Rusty, and she has to go through Rusty to okay this. She would like for y'all to just give her the blessings for it.
I've looked it over. I think that's a great idea. I think it's something that would be pretty awesome for April. There's not a whole lot going on
Except for my vacation,
in those few months.
right on top of it.
I'm always good for a good festival. I think Susie's done a great job with what she's put together here over the last few months, and she's kind of taken over the role of downtown manager and things.
Maggie, yeah.
Yeah, what'd I say?
We do, you know.
Sorry.
I give, thank you, you're welcome.
So, yeah, I was looking, it says that she just wants to close from Gordon Hill to Second Street. Is that enough area? Where is Second Street? Is that's by Gibson's Music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, due to the COVID issues and everything, she wants to expand it out a little bit to have enough room.
Are we allowed to vote on it where it's not on the?
You can give your,
You
you
can
can say
give your
you're for it,
blessings.
but you can't vote on it right now.
We got plenty of time, we'll just do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah,
I love it.
sounds good to me.
Me too.
Thank you.
And
You do have all the department head reports, most of them, some of them could make it work today, some of them couldn't. I felt like we need to let them go home, especially Gary. They've been out a long time, so he was gonna go home, go to sleep, he said.
Yeah, I don't think we need them sitting here when they could be taking care of people, so and it looks like we got a lot more coming, so. Trent, you got anything you wanna,
Have one thing, Mayor.
oh, I'm sorry.
On the restaurant tax, there's nothing in our ordinance that says it has to be 6 months before we start collecting for those that don't pay. I would like to put it in the ordinance where it says we have a 3 months grace period and that's it. And we start sending them notices that we're gonna collect on it.
So what does it currently say?
It don't really say anything, it's just been a basic, rule that they started to do it 6 months at a time. To give them 6 months grace period, I think we need to look at it and put it at 3 months grace period.
Who sends those notices out?
The collector's office.
So right now, if they're 6 months delinquent, it's typically 6 months delinquent before we start sending them anything.
Yes.
That seems like a long time to me.
Well, I think at that time, sorry, but at that time we collected it was a quarterly collection.
Yeah.
And so we said 2 payments behind, well,
Yeah.
that was 6 months. But now it's a monthly collection, that's a long time.
Yeah.
So I think that's why. you
I
want
think
to-
so.
And that's a big hole to dig yourself out of as well.
What we'd have to do is get Bob to rewrite part of that and put it in the ordinance.
I think I would be for that. I think that makes the most sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
How many, do you know, have any sense of how many people are delinquent on those taxes? I mean, like since, like last year?
There was a couple, there's been a few over the last year. I would have to check with Sky to make sure, but she recommends this also. I'm talking with her and Bob, this is what we came up with.
Got a couple really chronic ones.
Well, it seems like if it's a monthly thing, I mean, if it's not in the ordinance, it sounds like we don't even need to amend the ordinance, honestly. You know, it sounds like if they were a month delinquent, we could go ahead and send a notice out and say, hey, you missed your last month's
Yeah.
payment. So maybe something that we don't even want to amend, that we just kind of leave it at the discretion of the collector's office, you know? Cause it could be a small family-owned restaurant where they're a month behind and it's not that big of a deal. Or it could be, you know, somebody that's several hundred or several $1,000s behind where it is a big deal. So it might be better, left put to the collector's office, just at their discretion when to send out a notice, a delinquent notice or something like that, because, you know, if you get some of these places that are even 3 months delinquent, they're not gonna be able to catch up and, you know, at least.
One thing I don't like about that though is I think you have to treat everybody the same.
Yeah.
Yes.
You do.
Well,
don't think
And I
it's
said
like,
over to you,
It was
it
gonna
was
wait 3 months for you, we're gonna not wait.
Well, yeah, what I was just getting at is, you know.
Because that's not like an equal application of the law.
Yeah.
Which just seems like to me like a huge no-no maybe as a government.
I mean, I can see it both ways, given if it's a corporate-owned franchise versus a small business, locally owned small business, things like that. I mean, it's what,
I think we need to clarify the ordinance, because if we're starting to like question this, it probably needs to be put in our ordinance that says after a 3-month period that we're going to start sending out collections. That way it takes all the guesswork out of it for us.
That was what Bob recommended to me and Sky. I feel comfortable with that too. And I said a minute ago, it was the ordinance, it was basically a policy we established. But we need to make it into the ordinance, so it has some teeth in it.
I don't like the idea at all, of the collector saying, well, I'm gonna send this person that notice, and I'm not gonna send this on a notice. I think that's just, you're just asking for problems.
I can tell you Sky doesn't want that either, that's why she's asking for this, because we discussed it, and she's asking for this so that she has teeth and she has direction, and this is the law.
I mean, ultimately, on that tax, it's a pass-through tax, like that's not supposed to be revenue for your business anyway, you know what I'm saying? That you just collect that tax and you hold it and then you give it to the city, it's not revenue for your business, so there's no reason it shouldn't be paid.
Yeah.
Cause you wouldn't get it anyway if the tax didn't exist, you see what I'm saying? It wouldn't be
Yeah.
money that you got, it's in addition to what you're taking in for cost of your food and drinks or whatever.
I think the problem is though, with some of the restaurants that we've had, is that they use that tax money rather than hold it in escrow to pay the tax, they've used it for other reasons.
But-
And when it comes time to pay it, they don't have it, and they just keep digging themselves further and further.
But that's not a reason that,
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying, they shouldn't do that.
yeah, I agree.
I see what you're saying, I see both sides of it. Right now, I guess the way that it's written, it's not clear, and we could be sending it out discretionary, month by month or 3 months, so I mean, I also support clarifying that for Sky, and have a policy going forward.
It's fake.
We voted on something.
Yes,
That's
it's, I've got
6
it.
months. I know
It's
that. I can't tell
basically,
you what it was.
it's in
We voted.
section 119 of our ordinances, 05, unpaid penalty. And it just basically says after 30 days, the amount of the penalty shall be compounded each month. But it don't have no teeth in it, say, after a 3-month period. And that's what Bob recommended after me and Scott discussed it with him.
So is that something we'll put on the agenda for next month?
Yes.
Anything else, Marlon?
No, that's it.
I would also maybe next month when Brandon's here, but I'd like to hear his perspective on it too, given that he is a small business owner and pays the restaurant tax.
All right, and there is no tourism report, because we gave Maggie the evening off, yeah, we got it in writing, and it was great, and she was very busy, so. Since it's a special call meeting, we can't discuss anything that's not on the agenda, so with that, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
I make that motion.
I'll second.
Knuckles,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes.